It's literally a prison, but every hot girl wants in, some even offering millions just to be a good little inmate. The world's water supply got contaminated, and 99% of anyone who drank it turned into zombies. Me? I was working security in an abandoned prison building, dodged the whole thing, and somehow activated a high-level prison system. All I had to do was recruit high-scoring beauties as inmates to earn progress coins, which I could use to unlock food, weapons, abilities, and upgrade different areas of the prison. Right now, I'm sitting on 10,000 starter coins, trying to figure out what to spend them on. Everything's level 1, so the options are pretty limited. Level 1 cafeteria only had bread and bottled water. Level 1 warden's office, just one thing available, a handgun. The second I saw that gun, I lit up, spent 50 coins and grabbed it immediately. Anyone who survived the zombie apocalypse knows, a gun in the early days is everything. With a weapon secured, the next move was recruiting inmates. I was still brainstorming how to advertise when the system suddenly chimed in. Unknown individuals detected approaching the prison. Warden, do you want to install gate surveillance cameras? First security upgrade. Obviously. Safety first. I hit install, the feed came on, and I could see 5 or 6 people outside the gate. Then I caught a look at 2 of the women in the group. My eyes lit up. First batch of inmates just showed up on their own. That's weird, I never heard about a women's prison around here. Forget the prison talk, let's just get inside and hide. I cracked a small smile and opened the side gate. Can I help you? The one leading the group was a woman in her 60s. She shoved half her body through the door. Move aside, young man, we need to get in. I slapped her hand away without hesitating. This is private property, get out. I stood calm in the doorway and scanned the group, cross-referencing with what the system was showing me. Name, Qin Xiang. Age, 30, newlywed. Attractiveness score, 88, eligible. Name, Zeng Jiarou. Age, 26. Attractiveness score, 85, eligible. Just as I thought, both of them qualified. The system and I apparently have the same taste. I smirked to myself. Then an older man stepped forward. Look, son, I don't know who you are, but there are things out there biting people. You have to let us in. I switched gears. Actually, this is a women's prison. Men aren't allowed in. Women, though, that's a different story, but only 2 spots. I said it while pointing straight at Qin Xing and Zeng Jiarou. Standing next to Qin Xing was her husband, a guy with glasses. His face darkened. Look, bro, this is an emergency. If you don't let us through, don't blame us for getting rough. Then go ahead, get rough. I said it with a grin. He glared at me, then suddenly shoved his arm into the doorway. Everyone, push through! He didn't finish. I pressed the cold barrel of the gun right against his forehead. Try that again. One look at that gun barrel and he dropped to his knees, breaking into a cold sweat. He wasn't about to gamble on whether it was real. Right then, Qin Xing stepped in and tugged at his sleeve. The message was clear. That just set him off more. I don't believe that's a real gun, and I don't believe you'd actually shoot. He didn't finish that sentence. The shot was deafening. The bullet grazed right across his cheek. I'd originally planned to just put him down, but once I found out Qin Xing was his fiancée, I changed my mind. Kill him that easily, and getting her to cooperate might get a lot messier. Zombies! Zombies! Zeng Jiarou screamed and everyone spun around. Probably drawn by the gunshot, a zombie was stumbling out from the edge of the street. The old lady I'd smacked turned around, took one look and went pale as a sheet. Let me in! Let me in! I wasn't going soft. One shot, zombie down. But that shot made everything erupt into chaos. Qin Xing moved fast, grabbed her husband and bolted into a bus nearby. My eyes went cold. An inmate is not getting away that easy. I raised the gun and popped all 4 tires. The shots pulled in even more zombies. Now there was only one person left at the gate, Zeng Jiarou. You coming in or not? She had zombies on one side and a dude with a gun on the other. Even without thinking, you know which way to go. Let me in, I want to go to the prison. I smirked, reached out and pulled her into the yard. Then I took one long look at the bus where Qin Xing was hiding. Through the window, her face, pale and terrified. I laughed to myself. She'll be begging to come in soon enough. I shut the iron gate and turned to face Zeng Jiarou. All right, you're inside the prison now, you're safe. Is it really safe here? She was still shaking. Absolutely, but you have to follow my rules. She nodded. Zeng Jiarou glanced up at me, took a breath, and gave a slow, reluctant nod. I walked her into the prison. Past the main gate was a changing room. Level 1 changing room, bare bones, nothing fancy. I said, since you chose to move into my prison, there are some rules you need to know. This is a women's prison. From this point on, you are my inmate. And the most important rule for any inmate is obedience. If you can't do that, the door's right there. Don't, please, I'll listen, I'll do whatever you say. Zeng Jiarou shook her head frantically. I pulled out a prison uniform. First order, put this on. As an inmate, no personal belongings are allowed inside. I held up the uniform and looked it over. No way this is a prison uniform. It's literally a bunny girl JK outfit. Zeng Jiarou's face went red. I'm a grown woman. You expect me to wear a JK uniform? But then her eyes dropped to the gun on my waist. A few seconds later, she quietly took it. I need to change. Could you step outside for a second? Relax. I'm not interested in watching you change, but I do need to check if you got bitten. Zeng Jiarou looked like she was about to cry. She wanted to argue, but had nothing to say. 10 minutes later, Zeng Jiarou had changed. System notification. Eligible inmate detected. Binding confirmed. Name, Zeng Jiarou. Attractiveness, 85. Daily reward, 85 progress coins. Balance, 10,015. Obedience, 28. Please increase as soon as possible. Once an eligible person enters the prison and puts on the uniform, they're automatically locked in. The issue was, 28 obedience was way too low. There were plenty of ways to boost it, like unlocking the interrogation room, or the training chamber, or upgrading the cafeteria so the inmates eat better. But all of that cost coins, so I'd have to find another way. After that, I brought Zeng Jiru to cell block 1. Every bunk had a pillow and a blanket ready to go. Beyond that, one sink, one basic squat toilet. That was it. Simple? Sure. But in a world overrun by zombies, this place was practically paradise. Zeng Jiru didn't complain at all. She actually seemed relieved. Everything around her confirmed it. This really was a functioning prison. But right then, I stepped up behind her and pressed the gun to the back of her head. New order. Don't turn around. Don't make a sound. Zeng Jiru's whole body seized up. Her shoulders, her arms, her legs, all trembling. But she nodded, teeth clenched. If you can't follow orders completely, I continued, I will personally throw you outside to feed the zombies. She was shaking even harder now, barely holding herself upright. But she didn't forget my orders. As she kept nodding, I watched her obedience meter shoot up in real time, from 28 all the way up to 60. I smiled. Now, the next part? I already know you don't want to see it, so we're skipping ahead. 2 hours later, Zeng Jiru's obedience hit 85. I was very satisfied. She followed every single order, start to finish. You passed, I said. You can speak now. This is your home from now on. I'll call you when it's time to eat. That's when Zeng Jiru finally broke down and started sobbing. And somehow, the second I said that, her obedience ticked up again, out of nowhere. After getting Zeng Jiru settled, I headed back to the office. Pulled up the camera and watched her sitting alone in the cell block. Time to find her some company. I grabbed my phone, opened the Tianhai University group chat, and changed my username to Progress Women's Prison Warden. Then I uploaded photos of crates of food and clean water, and posted, "Attention everyone, the prison is now accepting applications. Free food, free water, unlimited supply. DM me to apply. Send a no filter, full body photo first. Hot girls only. If you're not, don't waste my time." The chat immediately went insane. Bro, does our group have a crazy person now? This is so embarrassing, and isn't that Kwaibu from class 3? You're still alive? Did the apocalypse mess up your brain? The roasting was instant. Notifications blowing up to 99+. I just laughed. Plenty of people talking trash, but even more people adding me. Girls and guys both. I was scrolling through when a name stopped me cold. Su Yingshui. One of the 3 legendary campus goddesses at Tianhai University. I accepted her immediately. A moment later, Su Yingshui messaged, "Is this Kwaibu upperclassman?" "The one and only warden. Looking to check in, Goddess Su? Our whole dorm wants to come, is that okay? Anyone who wants in sends photos first, no exceptions." A little while later, Su Yingshui sent 4 photos. First one was her. I stared at the screen. System pop-up name, Su Yingshui. Age, 21. Attractiveness, 93. Eligible. Perfect, Goddess, the warden's on his way. Checked the other 3, Zhang Xiaoxiao, Dongjing, and Meng Meng. All scored high. Figures. When you're a goddess, your roommates aren't average either. Beyond Su Yingshui, a solid number of others had added me too. Final count, over 20 eligible female college students confirmed. No more talking, time to move. I headed downstairs and spent 100 progress coins to unlock a prison transport van. 20 seats, kind of like a bus. Not that it could only hold 20. Pack them in, and you could fit 50 easy. I got in and slowly pulled out of the gate. Didn't get far before I spotted a bus on the road ahead, Qin Xiying's group. Tires all blown out, not going anywhere. Part of me still had Qin Xiying on my mind, but not right now. I drove straight to Tianhai University Girls' Dorm Building 1. Su Yingshui sent me the location herself. Took a little over an hour, but I finally made it to the campus gate. I knew exactly where I was going, headed straight for the girls' dorms. On the way, I passed a group of guys carrying iron bars and wooden planks, clearly heading out to scavenge.